Good morning and welcome to Venture Forward. It's early May 2023 in sunny southern Arizona. After last week's adventure in the desert, the van was a mess. It was dusty with scratches all over it, so I took it to the car wash for some tender loving care. Alright, the van is a lot better than what it was. It still needs a thorough detailing though. This week I'm going to keep working on filling in the map. Last week I explored this public lands north of Tucson and covered a lot of ground. Looking at Gaia GPS, there's this big parcel of Tonto National Forest where I've never been. So that's where I'm going to head today. I don't have any routes planned, I'm just going to wander and let curiosity be my guide. Let's get going. Every time I head out in the Jeep, I forget the things that it needs. It's still suitable for an adventure, but it needs new springs, new shocks. There's bearing noise coming from the transfer case, and there's still a voltage issue with the accessory battery. There's also a slow leak in my passenger side rear tire, which has been going on for about a year now. The windshield still needs replaced, and the Switch Pro has a loose connection, causing it to flicker on and off sporadically. So Orangey's doing great. It feels nice and solid at 206,000 miles, and I trust it. I trust it enough to take it out in an adventure. Really a wonderful, spacious, and unspoiled dispersed campsite in Tonto National Forest. There's a primitive stone fire ring, sweeping views all around. It would be a great place to spend the night, and I'm sure the stargazing here is superb, but I just got here, so I'm gonna put a pin in this and keep exploring. This primitive track looks like it's going to be a spur, but the road is lined with these really inviting looking pull-offs that look like a welcoming place to spend the night. They're flat and only spacious enough to accommodate one vehicle, but great views all around, and some of them have stone fire rings. It's just off pavement, but it's a very discreet forest road, so privacy is probably pretty good. I think this used to be an old railroad bed. Let's check it out. Sure enough, the track terminates at the remains of this old bridge, which is presumably a railroad bridge. An ancient track that at one point wound its way through this canyon, and now it's a primitive forest road barely passable by Jeep. I'm sure with a little Googling I could figure out exactly what this used to be. When I got home, I did a little bit of research, and this might not be a railroad bed at all. It might, in fact, be the original road through the canyon. But don't quote me on that. Someone who knows the history of this area could say for sure. This is home for the night. This rugged primitive track culminates into the spectacular backcountry campsite perched atop a desert mountain ridge. It offers a spectacular 360-degree view, and down the hill to the northeast there's an impressive canyon that looks like it'd be a lot of fun to explore on foot. There's enough room for 2 or 3 vehicles, and there's a primitive stone fire ring. Don't put your trash in fire rings, man. Yeah, it burns, but it goes into space. Shannon gave me a bag of mushroom and onion shredded beef with roasted red potatoes and steamed broccoli. So good. I love this. I'm definitely not getting more graceful as the years go by. I'm heading down to check out that canyon that I saw from camp last night. I checked the GPS and it was only 0.18 miles as a crow flies, which isn't far, but consists of a decent amount of sketchy scrambling. I think I'm almost there. This is as far as I go. I'm at the top of a dry waterfall, and at the bottom there's a stagnant pool, which I don't know how deep it is, but looks gross, so I'm not gonna venture any further. But this is cool, just a random narrow canyon in the desert mountains of Arizona. What sort of wildlife do I worry about when I'm traipsing around in the desert? Mostly just snakes. I'm not afraid of snakes, I even like seeing them. The problem is, they're usually already underfoot by the time I notice them and very angry. So when I do stuff like that canyon hike, I pay very close attention to where I'm stepping at all times. Other than that, I'm not too worried about anything else. In the last 6 years of traveling all over the place, I've seen 2 rattlesnakes, one in New Mexico, one in SoCal. I've seen 1 tarantula. I've seen 1 scorpion, although I think it might have been dead. There's a step. First gear. Easy peasy. Well, this trail's off to a gnarly start. I'm exploring one more forest road spur. Looks to be maybe a couple miles long. And then after this, I'm gonna go get lunch in Tortilla Flats at Superstition Saloon. When I first arrived in this area yesterday, I noted that a lot of the forest roads were spurs that branched off the blacktop. So I was concerned that they might be a bunch of unremarkable out and backs. And while they are out and backs, they are far from unremarkable. Yesterday's trail was rugged and beautiful, especially during golden hour. And now today, I don't know what's in store down this road, but it's definitely technical, interesting, and scenic. Well, that didn't go well. Tried to record critter and it ran away. This trail ended up being 3.5 miles long, and it's flanked by the Superstition Wilderness. It terminates at 2 hiking trailheads, and the trailhead to the west also features a dispersed campsite with a stone fire ring. Just beyond that campsite is Tortilla Creek, and it's not flowing much right now, but there was a nice sandy beach lined with, I believe, sycamore trees. It's a really nice and shady spot to cool off if you're in here for the hiking or for the scenery. Right now, I'm on my way back out to pavement, so let's go get something to eat. This is the cowboy quesadilla. Superstition Saloon in Tortilla Flat, Arizona. That cowboy quesadilla was crazy. It was spicy, it was an 1.5 inches thick. How is that an appetizer? But yeah, I am full after that adventure. Why all the dollar bills on the walls? The custom started many years ago. The tradition started with prospectors who left their last buck for a drink. They would return after their shift, pull down their buck, and buy a round. Then some of our annual tourists picked up on the idea, and without any encouragement from us, the practice flourished, and today it's considered a tradition. Alright, Tortilla Flat in Tonto National Forest. I totally recommend it for a 4-wheel drive experience, a backcountry camping and overlanding experience, and also comfort food. Now I'm curious to see what else Superstition Saloon has to offer. Alright, I'm going to head home. It's about a 2-hour drive, and from there I'll probably wrap up. Alright, I'm back home after a wonderful adventure in the desert. If you'd like to retrace my steps, my detailed GPS data is available to Patreon subscribers and paid members of Venture4WD.com. Also, t-shirts. We just restocked on these Groovy Venture Forward t-shirts on overlandstyle.com. I'll put a link in the description for this video. And also, Shannon and I just nailed this down. We will be in attendance at Overland Expo West 2023 in Flagstaff, Arizona. That event starts on May 19th and concludes on May 21st, 2023. So please come and find us in the creator area. It'd be great to meet you and spend some time hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.